So my stepmother has got the call and she does have a place. So we're going to move her in the next 6 weeks. And I am just feeling so sad for her because she's so overwhelmed by getting rid of stuff. And she's in a 3-bedroom townhouse. She's got a lot of stuff. And a lot of it is from my father because, she just continued living in the same place. And she's really finding it hard. And you've been through this, Michele, where you downsized, where she's going, this was my partner's stuff too. And I'm not taking it with me. So I'm just thought it'd be nice to talk about that again, about downsizing, decluttering, and moving on from those sentimental pieces. And yeah, so we're in the middle of it, and overwhelm is the perfect word to say. And I'm just trying to help her get through it.
It's ironic that you're having this conversation because this is the sunroom of the cottage. I'm not stuck on the floors. I have been in past recordings. Uh, Nobody's home, so it was easy for me to come out to have my conversations. And we're kind of in the same process here of decluttering because the dynamics of this cottage is it's a family cottage. It's owned by two families. Um, and the owners were brother and sister. And so the brother and Pete's mom have passed. Pete's parents have passed. And the other family, the mother is no longer capable of coming up to the cottage any longer. And so now everything has been intact in this cottage. And I mean intact, years
Yeah.
of stuff. There is there's a wicker set right over here that is the most uncomfortable thing to sit on. And we could never move it or change it because of the sentimental values, because it was a great grandmother's
Yeah.
wicker set. And I don't want to sound cold. It's not that all of a sudden the elders are no longer coming here. Bam, let's go change everything. That's not at all what we're doing. We're being very intentional with everything. And I'm actually not saying much. I'm allowing my partner, I'm allowing him to lead it, and I'm allowing the daughter of the other aunt to lead it. And it's up to them how they feel. So there are pieces that are staying within the house because that was like, but that reminded me of growing up. Then it stays. And my heart goes out to your stepmother because I know exactly what that's like.
Mhm.
Exactly. Downsizing from 3 rooms down to, I don't know how many rooms she's going into. Is she going into
She's
one
going to
or is she
assisted
going into,
living. So it will be a 1-bedroom, not even a full apartment, like a one
no,
bedroom and a
right.
living area and then your kitchenette.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so and I saw my dad go through the same thing when my stepmother passed, and he had to do the same thing. And it's a process and it is overwhelming. Um,
And you have to be sensitive because what I see
yes,
as like, let's get rid of this, she sees as, but that was
right.
this piece. So, being on the external part of it, you do have to really be conscious of that, I'm finding.
I think one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give is do it in stages.
Mhm.
So if you look at a room and there's a bunch of stuff in it, ask, for myself and what we've done here is what is the really easy, yeah, no, I don't need that any longer, you know, and then anything that is yeah, but then that goes in another pile and it just allows them to think about that a little bit longer, spend a little bit more time with that.
Well, I told her
And
to
then
put Post-it notes on everything. So go like all
yeah,
the pictures, put a Post-it note. I want this. this posting note. So one, you can visually see how much stuff you're taking with you. And two,
Yes.
you could go, do I really want that or not? Right.
Right. I think it's very important when you declutter, and I know Tracy E, you've talked about this because um you will have that drawer of teacups that you've had, and you did some rearranging of your office at home. It's I think it's okay to just throw something out if you feel that's okay. And if you have I'm not sure yet, then it's okay not to throw that out at that time, or donate it, or give it away, or whatever you're deciding to do with it. Um, we have to learn to release the emotional attachment to that item. And if we can't release that emotional attachment, then what is the next best thing? So sometimes it's giving it to somebody else, and that person feels, well, I didn't throw that memory away. I gave that memory to somebody else. Or is it really learning to let go of what that memory was, or keeping it? Just like remember my vase? I couldn't remember, but
Mm.
what should I do with this vase? It's right by my desk in Florida, and I'm very happy it's there. That's an important piece for
Yeah.
me.
Well, and when you do this also for like for the cottage, that's somewhere to go to for recreational. She's now doing two transitions. She's doing the decluttering or the getting rid of, plus the physical change of where she's going. And what I've learned from that, and I learned from your thing is make sure we don't have a bunch of crap in our house when it comes time to leave, because one, I don't want to be mean to my daughters, and two, if it's all in storage within our house, obviously we're not using it. So while we can now, let's start getting rid of that stuff, giving it away, going to the dump, whatever it is, and kind of like lighten the load. So when it comes down to that time, you're not making so many decisions. Like she's got a lot of stuff that has
Yeah,
been around for
that is hard.
years.
And just so you know, this isn't for recreation. This is where I live 5 months out of the year.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you
But
could
still,
still be living in Florida.
but this is a place Pete has been coming to for 68 years, since the day he was born. He's been coming in here. And since the last 40 years, the furnishing is exactly the way it's been.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, exactly.
It's interesting. I wonder how much different the process is on sentimental items for men versus women.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
My take is I think it's a much easier for guys to get rid of stuff than it is for us to get rid of stuff. But in both situations, I think that what you guys are going through are entirely different in the decluttering mode, because Michele, you are Pete's partner. That is his family cottage, like you said. So your input, you've chosen to step back and say, you guys are the ones that are going to make these decisions, not me. And for you, Tracy, it's very difficult because you've got your stepmom who not only is relocating, which is like emotionally difficult right off the get-go. Even if you were taking all your stuff, it's emotionally difficult to do that. But then to have to like get rid of all of those things,
Mm-hmm.
and the decision fatigue that
Mm-hmm.
both families are going through, because the problem is that that's exactly what happens. You look at something And even though you've seen it every day for the last, 30 years, you look at it now, all of a sudden you're going, well, I'm going to throw that out. And you're like, well, my God, like I remember when I bought that, or I remember who gave it to me. I remember this, I remember that. I've had it for all these years. If I was going to throw it out, why didn't I throw it out before now? Like all of these things go through your mind, which totally creates the overwhelm in terms of trying to make a decision of, do I keep it or do I not? And that is
Yeah.
seriously super difficult, super difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Tracy G, question. I know she's moving. I know she needs to move. Does she have excitement about the move at all? Like, is she excited about moving into an assisted living, or
Yes.
like, does she have excitement about
Yes, she
that?
does. But again, and this is, I believe, excuse me, as we get older, change becomes harder. And
Mhm.
she is just overwhelmed. She's so excited to go in there, but she's so scared to go in there. And I'm trying to say, it's okay. We can come back. You can do, we're not going to sell the place right away. Just go,
Perfect.
enjoy, pick what you
Yes.
want. That is what we'll
Yes.
move, and we'll let the house sit for a moment in time. And when you go, yes, this is good, then we sell the place. And we have
This is,
that luxury right now. So
yes, perfect. And it just brought back a memory when Pete's mom had to go into assisted living down in Florida. She was in assisted living for almost 3 years before she passed. Um, she had the same thing. She took her favorites out, but then for almost a year, maybe it won't be, but we weren't planning to sell the house right away. Almost a year afterwards, there were bits and pieces she would come back and take, but it was just bits and pieces. But I love that, Tracy, because she does not have to make every decision now.
right.
So it's kind of like you do these once throughs, like she might walk in and say, I don't know why I have that. Okay, then that's an item that can go. Like that can go over here. And even if we take that item and you put it in a box and you put it in another room and don't take it, like don't take it, it gives her time to process that. She still has that item. She doesn't see it. And then they kind of settle with it. I know I've done that. Pete's mom has done that, where they kind of settle with it, and then it's like, yep, I didn't need it, you can take it now.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I figure that once she's in there, she's not going to look back. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like this is what she wants, that type of companionship where she could just go down and see some friends. Like she has quite a few friends that she socializes with, but she needs eyes on her. She needs someone
yeah,
around.
right. Yeah, that was the reason why Pete's mom went in.
Mhm.
So Tracy E, since we've had this discussion a couple times, have you looked at decluttering any differently?
I do. I struggle with the mental fatigue part of it, but I will have energetic moments that I plan for. And I say, okay, Sunday afternoon, I'm gonna take 2 hours. It could be 2 hours, it could be 6 hours, the way it works out. And just gonna work on this particular area. And I can pretty much tell as I start to do it whether or not it's a good time to be doing it.
Mm.
Because if I start picking up the papers and I go, oh yeah, I remember I printed this out because I really wanted to read this article. You know what? I still really want to read this article. And it goes over into this pile. All I've done is literally moved it from one pile to another. It's like, okay. So if I've done that a few times, I'm like, yeah, we're not ready to do this yet. So
3 hours later, I'm done.
yeah, yeah.
I moved
It's like
everything over.
I will just change tasks. I'll go, okay, forget the pile of paper. That's obviously not going to work. Let's go and, look at file folders and let's see if we can get rid of all this nonsense that's in my filing cabinet that I never look at. And that's what I have to tell myself. I walk to the filing cabinet and go, remember, you never look at this stuff. Like, ever do you look at this stuff?
Right,
So,
right,
and then I open it up and I go, oh yeah, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need it. And it
right.
becomes easier. That momentum will sometimes allow me to go back to my piles of paper and go, I can find this again. It's not important. I can find that again. I don't need that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do need that. Oh, I don't care about this. Like, it literally will sometimes change how my decluttering session goes. But I'm pretty much on to myself at this point about whether or not it's practical to do it, which is really good, because like there's no point wasting your time if you know you're in that
Yeah,
mindset of, well, I pretty much have to keep everything.
Because then that
right.
reinforces not to do it too, right? Because you
Yeah,
go,
Exactly.
nothing really happened, so why am I doing this again?
yeah, yeah.
Right,
And I
right.
will often, before I do something like that, especially if I know it's going to be sentimental things that I have that represent someone who's passed, I often say to myself, just because you decide to get rid of this item, it does not mean you are getting rid of them.
Mm.
You still have the memories. You are still honoring that person. You are not doing anything bad by deciding that you are going to donate this or, get rid of it or whatever. You're not, because sometimes I think, when you've held on to something for so long in honor of that person who's passed, it feels almost dishonorable to get rid of the item, even though
Yeah,
you might not even like it anymore. It's
Right.
like, it's like, oh God, I got this thing that I keep dusting week after week after week. Like, but I can't throw it out because like it was my mom's, and like I've had it this long, that
right.
whole situation. So I think it really, I think you do have to have a set of rules that you go in with to declutter. Like you were saying, Michelle, if you can't make the decision, it goes in another pile, and you make a decision, it goes in this pile. And if the decision fatigue starts to get too much, you walk away from everything. Just don't do it.
Yep.
And don't put yourself in that situation. And to also say, to literally realize that getting rid of an item does not dismiss the person in your life.
Yeah.
It does not dismiss that. I grapple
I
with
know
that a
it's
lot.
weird. Yeah, sometimes I know this is weird, and it's probably weird because I have boys and I know what they're going to do. But when my time has come, I'm keeping something because it has like, well, maybe my boys would want it. They're gonna cost freaking everything. It's like they're not, and I'll probably keep a few things. So that's where I try to keep and I'm still decluttering. So I had my big declutter last year. Okay. This summer, I'm in my closet going, you really don't need all these clothes. I've lived here a whole summer. This is my first summer here, and I'm like, you really don't need all this. Like you need to downsize more. And that's what I've been doing. Like I had like these 4 long summer dresses, like sundresses. I've worn one. So do I need 4? No. I'm going to keep 2 and I'm bringing 2 to Florida. And yeah, I'm just relocating it, but it's not something that has to be cluttering up here. It's something I can use down in Florida and the whole thing. So um, I think decluttering, and there's never oh, I'm done. I don't know if there's ever oh, I'm done. It might be a year or two and reevaluate. That's all. Reassessing.
But I've added the rule too, before decluttering, is not bringing it in. And this summer,
Yes.
I had a lot of events, like we were jam packed. And my normal thing, and I don't know why, but my normal thing is, oh, I better go look and get, start buying stuff to wear. And I went, no, this year I'm gonna look in my closet. And I went through the whole summer without buying a thing, and used all these things that I previously bought that would wore once or twice. And I felt so good because I didn't bring more crap in. I actually used what I had, and I actually went through some of the stuff and go, this isn't, I'm not going to ever wear this anyway. So get rid of it. So I was very proud of myself.
Well
Very
done.
proud of yourself.
Yeah, but not bring it in, right?
Right,
I-
exactly.
I got to tell you a funny story. My sister has 3 boys, and she was getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and she said to her eldest, he was like has his own home, kids, the whole thing. She turned around to him one day and she said, Nate, is there anything you want out of the house? Like, should I earmark that, specifically for you? He said, yeah, mom. And she said, oh, okay, like, what is it that you want? He said, I want your water cooler. Like, my sister's got beautiful antique furniture. She's got like some fabulous pieces of art. Like, of all the things the kid wanted, it was the water cooler. I was like, what? I said, well, okay, I'm gonna earmark some stuff then. How about that? It was so funny. I couldn't. So, what we think again, right, is
Right.
valuable, or what we think
Right.
is, oh, this is like, so important to me. Somebody else is going to look at that and go, what is this? Like, let's dump it.
I know you guys, the episodes of when I was decluttering and moving, and I brought furniture to both of my children. I walk in their house and they're using that furniture, and that was the rule. If I'm bringing you this, it doesn't get shoved like in an attic or down,
Yeah.
because then you had to tell me why you wanted it. And so there is one table my oldest one took, and he just brings it out for the holidays because it's it expands big, and rightfully so. That's how I used it, you know. But the other stuff, I walk in, I feel like, and my youngest will tease me. He'll be like, "Do you feel like you're at your house?" A little. It's half of my furniture, but that's okay. That's fine with me, you know. But yeah, I think that's cute. So, do you have questions about decluttering? Has this episode helped you at all? What is your thoughts, or what do you struggle with when it comes to decluttering? Put them below. Let us hear about it. If you feel that this episode resonated with somebody that you know, please share it. Hit that subscribe button and also hit notifications so you know when the next episode will come out. Until then.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.